Yes, you can start with the introduction.
Okay, sure.
Okay, I can start now. We got the audience.
Let me share my screen. My screen is visible.
Yep.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Welcome to World Sprint Developers Hackathon Day 3. As we announced yesterday, this hackathon specifically organized for WordPress developers and organized by iCode Guru. So let me start with a short introduction of iCode Guru. The motive of iCode Guru is learn, share, and grow. We share the knowledge that we have with others, and we learn from the knowledge that others have, and we grow as a community. So our mission of iCode Guru is employability, high-tech skills, and international mentors. In employability, we make students aware of how they target companies like FANG companies. And in high-tech skills, we mostly focused on lead code, DSA, and programming languages. In international mentors, we organized a weekly webinar on new technologies, which conduct by an international mentor. So what we have to achieve? Our 7 students selected as a mentor at Code in Place, and 301 students participate in Google Code Jam, and this is the first huge participation in this from Pakistan. Our 3 students win a hackathon, which is organized by Itihad Aviation Group, and they offered them internship to our students in Abu Dhabi. CS50 Puzzles Day organized by Harvard Universities. Our students not only participate in it but also won it. Thank you. If you want to join us, you can register on our website www.icode.guru, and if you want to watch our recorded lectures, you can visit our Facebook page. So let's meet Sir Bennett Chen. He is a co-founder of Neural Lab, and he completed his master's in corporate governance and from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Let me invite our speaker, Sir Bennett Chen. The title of our talk is Business Model Convince, Picking the Right Problem to Solve. Over to you, sir.
Okay, all right, okay. Maybe I'll share my screen. Okay.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
It's coming up.
Yes.
All right. Okay, Ikra, thank you for introducing me. Appreciate that. So, hi everyone. I'm Bennett Chen. I co-founded. So a little bit of a background. I co-founded like a Neural Lab. So we are AI service provider incorporated in Hong Kong. And we our mission is to help business adopt AI. One of the areas I saw you have you mentioned like one of our strengths is actually in aviation. So we help particularly after COVID, there's a huge staff shortage, okay, because the COVID has basically made the industry lose quite a bit of talents and experience early retirement like from the industry. So we are now looking at like helping them like in adopt AI to improve like the resource utilization. So our company's core values are learning and perseverance, and I think that actually like link up very well with iCode Guru. In fact, like we have two colleagues actually from iCode Guru, and they're based in Lahore, and we got another colleague in Karachi. So we are also very big on diversity, because we believe like people from different background will coming together, because we are building solutions not just for a country. Aviation is for multiple for people from different part of the world. So we want that diverse thinking. So we see that's a creativity. And also like we are very big on teamwork because we have like our colleagues are spread across like from Australia, Hong Kong to Pakistan. So teamwork is extremely important for us. So that's a little bit of Neurolab's background. So going into I'm assuming there's no question. If you have questions, yes, please call out and I'll pause. Okay. So chose this topic because hackathon. I also actually like it's also involved. I don't know whether some of you have heard of a startup event called like Startup Weekend by Techstar. So I'm quite involved in that in Hong Kong. So it is more it's not exactly hackathon because hackathon you actually come up with a solution. So that one is more. I mean, some do come up with solutions when there are more engineers, but it's more about idea. A group of people, diverse background over the weekend come together, come up with some ideas. And I'm talking about like this topic, selecting the right problem to solve. I want to tell you like I don't know whether you guys have heard like Zapier or Carousel like mean anything. They are very large. They are very large companies, as you can see from the data there. They are global companies. And these are problems that the founders get together in the startup weekend and hack up the idea, and then they build a business from that. Okay, and so like in Asia, well, in the world, Zapier is actually quite big. It's actually quite big for the SMEs as a solution that joined the two apps, use no code for two apps to integrate together and build a workflow. And Carousel is a large e-commerce site that's from Singapore, and you can see they raised it's a quite a big marketplace in Asia. So next slide. So I'm going to talk about. I'm going to use. I don't see any. I'm just wondering, just out of curiosity, has anyone I'm just trying to open up the screen in here because I'm trying to look at. Can you put a hand up if you have heard of or used business model canvas? Are you guys like can you show a hand, put a hand up? Let's see, I'm just trying to look at who has his hand up. Okay, one person, one near. Okay, Aisha, okay. Two people. All right, so most of you haven't used that. That's fine. Okay, good. Three people. Okay, all right. Okay, so so this is a more structure where I find it very useful. Particularly it's a way to help structure your thinking, because the last thing you want after you spend all your blood, sweat, tears, money, time building a solution, solving a problem, the last thing you want is that problem that problem is a good problem, but no one is willing to pay anything for it. It's a wastage. Okay, and that will be also a major disappointment. So when we are talking about, that's why like those companies I mentioned like before, they find like they find a very clear, the first thing that we're looking at, they find a very clear value proposition. Who are they targeting? Okay, and they will be looking at like specific customers. Okay, so this model, what you're looking at, it's a structured way to help you identify problem. And in the old days, people will be reading very thick business proposal. Okay, try to understand like what for any new business venture, new business ideas, how are you solving like what problem you're trying to solve. Okay, and what is your value proposition these days? I mean, the objective of this business model canvas is give you a simpler framework to help you think, help you discover the problem, the best problem to solve, and who you solve it for. I'm emphasizing on these two because these are the first two things you'll be looking at first out of all these canvas. I'll explain a little bit more the whole structure of the canvas a little bit later. But the most important thing is you need to know why would people pay you the money, okay, or give you the data, or WhatsApp use your solution, and not just use it once, but use it continuously every day, okay, for example, or at least come back without you asking them because they see that as a value. So this is a structure that framework that help you that will help structure that guide you through that thinking. It also is once you have it all listed down, it will be a map for you to validate all your assumptions, because everything there, I think this has value to this type of customer. That is still for any business startup, it is still an assumption. Okay, that you are assuming these customers will pay you for the value that you are proposing. So that is also a framework for you to remind you these are all the different assumptions in each of the box that you need to validate. And once you have validated the assumptions, the next step will naturally be you will be talking to investors, or you'll be talking to your team, saying this is how this is how the business works. So the on that, so you so when you have some value that you can offer, whether it's a product or service, at the core of the core value of that product or service you offer to the specific customer segment. Okay, don't aim for the world, because if you're aiming for the world, that means you don't know what you're selling. Usually for a startup, you don't have that scale to target everyone. So usually start off with very niche. All of you heard about, I mean, some of you may heard about the Facebook story. They originally just target the students in Harvard, one university at a time. So that customer segment was just Harvard University. That's it. And then like this part, so how do you reach the customer? That's the channel. What kind of relationship you want to build with the customer? Okay, is a cold relation? Is it like kind of a passive relationship, wait for the customer to come, or a very active, okay, relationship, very proactive reach out? So this part of the framework is basically, you can imagine that it's more like the front of the house, like the shop front, because at the back, these are the back offices. So to provide this value proposition so that you can serve the customer, and have and reinforce that relationship, there's some activities that you need to carry out. You will need certain resources, okay, to combining the resources with activities, you can offer this value. Okay, sometimes there are things that you can't do everything by yourself, so you need key partners. So that's kind of this part is more the back of a house, back of the shop, to support these values. And below is the business model, is the what we call the business case. The whole thing is business model. For the service that you provide the customer, they're willing to pay you different type of revenue. Okay, is it a monthly subscription? Is it a one-off? Is it like pay you by usage? Okay, so that's different revenue streams. Okay, is a service product, okay, or subscription, Then there's the cost structure is like you know, to do all these activities, to have these resources, certain partners, you know, what is the cost? Okay, even they don't cost you anything, the partners, you might need to employ someone to entertain the partner, to keep them aligned with your activities. So that's the cost. Okay, so that's the very high level view of the business model canvas. Now I'll give you an example. I'm actually like give the airline industry. So I'll actually show you the next example using a low cost carrier. So a low cost carrier, a little bit of low cost carrier. So compared to full service, low cost carrier is just basically like getting you from A to B. That's what low cost carrier do. Okay, so it's cheap flight. The value proposition compared to major full service carrier airline, it is cheaper because they are only offering you a seat to bring you from point A to point B. There are no other in-flight entertainment. There's no you need to take your own phone to go and watch it. If you want to food, you have to pay extra, or you bring your own fast food to eat. So that's the value proposition of a low-cost carrier. And so we are for customer segment. I'm just for simple say we use here is a budget travelers. So we're not targeting we are not targeting the premium clearly. We are not targeting there are budget business travelers, but usually corporate travelers, we're not targeting those. Okay, because that's because the channels that they because we're talking about budget, the corporate travelers, the premium customers, they expect more service. So you will be the wrong target for them. Now, for the hackathon that you're working on, I think one of the very important thing, don't be greedy. Don't aim for the world. Okay, look for the niche player. Using the same Facebook story. If Zuckerberg, day one, said, I'm going to target the world, one, his solution is not proven. Nobody's really understand how there's no it's very ineffective because you need to educate the world how to use it. Okay, he's just targeting everyone in Harvard. Okay, and when it got leaked out to other university, you already have some champions who love your value your service at the Facebook service. Okay, I can share. I can share with my community. So in that case you can grow gradually, and also your value proposition is also more targeted. Okay, because when you are talking about I'm going to target the whole world, it's very hard to come up with a value proposition that is suitable to the whole world. Okay, and also have your customers remember exactly who you are and how you are different from the others. Okay, you really need to stand out. They need to remember you, particularly when in the early stage. Now back to the low cost carrier. So we it's our budget travelers, so they don't expect a lot of service. And so if you want to talk to them, there's no travel agent that provide personalized service. So you have to go through call center. You might need to wait. You will do it yourself through the website. Okay, the relationship we're talking about, it's not exactly personal, because personal, that means it's actually more for the premium travelers. And also like for the budget travelers in the airport, it's more about self-service kiosk, backdrop. So it's they serve themselves. So that's the front of the house, as I mentioned. Okay, and of course it's pretty straightforward. It's they buy the ticket or they pay extra, as I said, like there's no in-flight meals, so you need to pay for extra meals. Okay, so then to support this value proposition, we need to be cheap. The most important, one of the most important thing to keep the flight trip cheap is I need to keep the aeroplane in the sky. When the aeroplane is sitting on the ground, it's not earning me any revenue. It's only earning revenue when I'm bringing people from point A to point B. And so this quick turnaround is basically how much time they spend on the ground. So we need to quickly turn it around so that it spends minimum time on the ground. Okay, when they arrive, minimum time to get all the passengers off, baggage off, then passengers on, baggage on, and then fly out. Okay, and that's when it starts. So that's one of the key activities that they need to in here, not listing out all the activities, but listing out what are the key activities that can support this value proposition. Okay, so that so that's an example. Other things in here it's a little bit more technical why single aircraft model, but simply put it, all my engineers are only trained to service one aircraft, one type of aircraft. That's one training. If I have two different type of aircrafts, I have to give them two different training. Okay. In fact, pilots are same. So I only so simplify the aircraft model means I reduce my I can manage I can manage my costs cheaper. And also in the airports, if there are certain large airports, they are more expensive. If the airport is a little bit outside, further out, or smaller, it might be cheaper. So we choose. So that's these are the key resources. And then the partners is other than the for the airline, I mean, when people arrive, they need to rent car, hotel, insurance. So for these, the airline won't provide those services. They'll work with partners so that I can cross-sell, so that I can earn margin from these services. Okay, so that's a high-level idea of how the business model canvas work and how the different elements link to each other. Okay, and I just the last slide before I open up for any Q&A. So please, so I just want to share some examples, okay? And so you probably something you can use to compare with your idea. Okay, these are problems not worth solving. Okay, so in the number one, extremely niche problems with limited impact. First is if your customer size is too small. Okay, I said don't aim for the world, but clearly, if your customer total available market in the world, it's only out of 7 billion people, there's only 1 million people. You will have a hard time finding them. Okay, so even if there's a very good problem and there's a very good solution, it's niche, okay, and combined with it is the impact is not that high, the chance of success building a business from that problem is limited. A lot of startups, okay, and I had also experienced that myself. We build the solution first because we thought there's value proposition. We didn't go and check with our customers, our value proposition. Do they echo to that? Okay. Is it something so unique? They decided, however, they are solving the problem is worth the while to switch over. Okay, that's also very important. You might be solving a problem, but if they believe the current solution to the problem is good enough. Good enough doesn't mean it's as good as yours, but it's good enough, they will not switch. People don't like change. So one of the things is like, oh, we want to build this best state-of-the-art social media. Okay, and we can build it, and we have the engineers. Okay, it has built-in, I'm just making up, built-in generative AI that can anticipate what you're going to write, and but will you switch just because of those? Okay, because all your friends are on Twitter, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. It's very hard to get them to move. Okay, now, so are you building a solution in search of a problem? Then over engineering simple tasks, I think just face value, you understand. Okay, it's if it's not that difficult, why make it complicated? Now, number 4, straightforward, violate privacy and ethical standard. So if someone built an app that will track the location of a person without asking for their permission, clearly that's violate the privacy. Okay, but on the other hand, that same technology, if you say, yeah, I'm actually used to track my children where they're going out to meet their friends, you get the permission. That same technology didn't violate the privacy. Yeah, that's worth the while. Okay, all right. So that's example of the problems that are but like yeah. So that's number 4. And I said number 5 before already. It's like yeah, you might have a solution, okay, but it's hard to differentiate. It's just another social media platform. It's just and that's why you don't see that many yeah, when a solution is saturated, like iPhone, a smartphone right now. Okay, it's hard to get into that market because it's quite saturated. And the other things like problem that are too forward thinking with our current market. An example of that that I always think of is when we are looking at a solution is technical limitation. So you may have heard of Netflix. It is streaming the video or streaming the movie to your laptop, mobile phone, or tablet, or to the TV. So that's streaming. When they first come out, Netflix, actually broadband is not that it's not that fast. So at the time they are thinking of streaming, but because the general infrastructure is not ready, so they start off with posting VCD, video CD, and then DVD to their customers, like a library, and then they need to send it back. That's Netflix service in the beginning. Okay, before then they move when broadband is ready, they move into streaming. So that's my sharing. I hope this helped with your hackathon. I guess I'll stop sharing, and if any of you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Any question? Anyone? Just put your hands up.
Yes, sir. I need to ask some question.
Yes.
I'm working in a company. Basically, I'm a co-founder of the company named Zipama, and we have built an app that's really brilliant idea. It solves the problem of poverty, poor mental health, and the education. But the thing we are struggling on is to find the investment, because we need to make the actual physical, you can say the zipper stops where user these will be eco-friendly zipper stops. So we need to build them globally, but initially in the Nigeria. and it is getting really hard to find the investment.
Mm.
I can also
Okay.
share the business model that I have made, if you ask.
Sorry, say it again.
They can.
What was the question?
Yeah, I can also share the canvas that I've made for the company, if you ask.
Okay. Yes, but I think so what is your question first? Okay. Before we jump into your canvas. So I hear what you are trying to do.
So how to get the funding? How to get the funding, the bigger funding?
How to get the funding? Okay. So 2023-24, okay, particularly this year, is extremely hard. Reason at the macro level, very high interest rate. You don't have to risk anything, and you put your money in the bank. I'm talking about general, right? You can easily get 5%. I'm talking about global standard. Okay, so from an investor point of view, that's easy money. Why do I want to risk my investors' money? So and also there are the world economic uncertainty, election, 2 wars currently going on. So raising fund is a bit hard, okay, compared to a few years ago. So however, it doesn't mean it's not doable, but you will need to prove traction. Prove traction meaning you need to prove there are adoption. You need to prove there's a high growth rate. Okay, high is depending on your specific business. Okay, what do you mean by high? Okay, because that means high can mean, I mean, if you refer, okay, you have the canvas, so you know already. So it means your value proposition is very strong. You are targeting the right customer. Your channel of distribution is solid. Okay, you can reach them cheaply, economically. So no magic wand. I know how you feel, Wanya. You will need to prove revenue, and then investors will look at it's totally a whole new session, whole new talk about finding investor. But like the investor also come in, just like problem come in different size and form. Investors also come in different size and form. Okay, in that VC world. But they once you have confirmed like revenue, then they multiply. They put a multiplier on that. Okay, and that's based on your growth as well. I
You're
hope
right,
that answered.
sir. Yes, you're right, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Any other question?
Thank you so much, sir. You speak so well. We would love to hear you for hours, but as we know, we have a limited time, so we would have to end this talk. Thank you so much for your precious time.
Welcome. Well, good luck with everyone. Good luck with the hackathon. I'm in a different time zone, but otherwise I would love to join to see their final presentation. So good luck. Yeah, hope you all find a good problem to solve. All right.
Yes,
Thank
sir,
you.
sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.